Good morning. Today is October 16th. Approximately about, I would say, 11 a.m. So what I got here is a center console ZX22 Bay Skeeter with a 2001 Yamaha. The Yamaha is a 200 HPDI vmax. We did a few things to it. We did a lot of the electrical stuff and stuff like that. But just recently, customer states that a buddy of his had installed the engine on there. He rigged it up and everything. And so they said that every single time they would take it out, like every single time they would take it out, every single time they would try to trim up or down, the engine will stall and die out, like just die out. So they couldn't figure out what the problem was. I was having a hard time figuring out the problem. Every single time I would turn it on and I'd trim it up. I did bridges, I did a whole bunch of other things just to, discard it being the stator or alternator. In this case, it will be a stator. So we decided to move the battery from the console to this compartment here. So we put the battery here and a battery charger as well. So the cable was way too long and we couldn't get it out from the channel where it goes in through. It's like a pipeline basically with you send all the wiring through it, but sometimes when they install these things, they just disconnect them and leave the wiring there. But there's zip ties all along the pipeline, so it's kind of hard to pull the wiring out or the cables, anything like that. We ended up cutting the two thick cables that go from the battery to the motor, right? So when we did that, we discovered something. I don't know if we can see that, but you notice the tips, how they're all black. All right, see that? So it's not supposed to be like that. So we were having a voltage draw or insufficient voltage going to the trim unit. The trim unit needs and has to have 12 volts. But the wiring being basically burnt and charred, that actually creates a voltage drop. In other words, corrosion and all that makes false contact. And in this case, it wasn't making false contact. It was getting insufficient voltage through the wiring. Because now we already changed the wiring. I had another one of my bolts, so we changed the wiring out. Put new ring connectors, one there, and that goes bolted straight into the ignition solenoid right there. That's one ring connector there, and the ground right there. So now I'm just gonna turn on the engine partially, just so that we can hear it on, and we'll trim up and down and won't die. So trim up and down. The problem was the wiring, and like I said, we had done numerous things to it just to try to figure out what the issue was or the problem was. I even contacted a Yamaha specialist and I asked him about it, and they said they never had a problem like that, and that it was something that they were not too familiar with. Anyways, these are my two little bridges that I made to bypass the power, but even though I did that, still did the same thing because the wiring was basically burned and insufficient current going through the wiring. And well, yeah, this is Alfredo Marin from Marin Sport Repair Shop here in Rio Bravo, Texas. Got any questions, you let me know. And thank you for watching.